Wow.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. There's New Bullying. Your host Leroy, aka Oppenheimer Girl in an Oppenheimer world, with my co-host. He's so excited to be here.
Oh, yes. This is Eli, aka Strawberry Short Round Cake.
Not a Star Wars reference, but that is an Indiana Jones reference. I got that reference. Yeah. I understood that reference. Yeah. We're back.
It's all Lucasian philosophy.
You lost me with that one. I was with you at first.
Philosophy.
You took okay. I was gonna say I was with you. You took a left, a hard
2000 party over. Oops, out of time.
Oh man. Yeah. So we're back in another episode. We're gonna jump into it. Like I said, we guys got a bunch of show, but we're not gonna take a whole lot to it because we're gonna jump into it and get through it as fast as possible. So no malarkey, no tomfoolery, no shenanigans, no lollygagging. No notes. We don't take notes.
No jokes. I say no.
Oh, no jokes. No joke. This is serious. This is because
seriously.
It was serious. Let's set up the premise of the show. Like I said, anybody see the thumbnail, see what's going on right now. Eli can't see it, but everybody else can see it. So we're gonna talk about two movies this time. Two movies because it was two movies. We're gonna talk about Barbenheimer, the phenomenon that happened. I'm gonna talk about Barbenheimer. Let's see what we got here. Jake, what's going on? Yeah, you're just in time. So we just started up. So yeah. We're going to talk about Barbenheimer, and to think about these two movies, I do want to let you know that one of these movies is one of the most controversial movies of the year. And the other movie is about a Jewish communist that created the atom bomb and dropped it on Japan and started the Cold War. So that should tell you what direction this podcast is going to go this week. So that being said, we're going to jump into it. We're going to do Eli's favorite part of the podcast, where he predicts the box office numbers.
I heard it was a good one this weekend. I heard people went out to the movies this week.
Oh, Barbenheimer was a phenomenon this week. You had, it was everywhere. People was enjoying themselves. The theaters were packed. When you drive by movie theaters, it was hard to find a parking spot. This is rare, when
that's like Endgame shit.
Really? This what happened? So that's where we are right now. So yes, everybody was in the theaters doing things. I think both movies helped each other movie out. I think if one movie dropped, the other movie didn't drop, neither one movie would have made as much money as they made this week. So, but that being said, was the number one movie. Which movie won out of Barbenheimer? Which one?
I'm gonna say Barbie because it
Sound of Freedom.
Oh,
bullshit. I'm psych. I'm playing.
What's sad is I wouldn't have been surprised. That's
right. So here's the numbers we got is okay. So yes, Barbie was number one with 155. So that number, that is the highest grossing opening weekend of any movie in 2023. So better than any Marvel movie. Because there's going to be people out there that's going to be saying that. Also, this is the highest grossing opening weekend of any female director ever. So Barbie did that. And Oppenheimer didn't do bad either. Like I said, 80 million for an opening weekend. That's not bad at all. That's like higher end also for a movie that came out against going up against Barbie. So let's hear right now.
That isn't a superhero movie or a Disney movie.
That isn't a superhero. That isn't an IP. People saying people are tired of IPs. We want original movies. Barbie is an IP. I don't know why people keep forgetting that. So I don't know. They just move the goalposts wherever they want to. So anyway, let's jump into it. I'm gonna just jump into the review, just go into it first. So like I said, I was gonna draw a straw, but whichever movie was the bigger hit, that's what I'm gonna talk about first. We're gonna talk about Barbie first. So let's just jump into it. We're gonna go into it. I actually have.
You sound thrilled.
No. Actually, I have some stuff to talk about on Barbie. There's some stuff that jumped in Barbie. Actually,
you got
my
notes.
Attention. I have notes on Barbie. When I saw this movie, I was like, "Here's the thing about this Barbie movie. There are going to be think pieces about this movie. I'm not even joking. I'm serious. Like people go to break this movie down. Now, before I get into it, I do want to say what other people have been saying about this movie. Like I said, people on Reddit have been dropping their reviews on it. That crew. Some things they've been saying. The feminist agenda will kill us all, and they won't be happy until we're all gay. So those are things that happen. Now, like I said, as far as reviews that have been online, we are not that type.
And what a crime that would be.
Right. We just walk out and just all of a sudden just pink booty shorts on and shit like that. Just watch,
Yeah, if we just all came out fabulous and like happy.
just dancing and shit, just twerking in front of Barbie and shit,
Yeah, just not giving a fuck. Yeah.
So no, we're not gonna be one of these podcasts like Ben Shapiro where he burns Barbie dolls after his review. Like, where the fuck did he get?
Oh,
Barbie
did he
dolls?
really? I heard.
He really did that. He really did that. He burned Barbie dolls after the review.
Well, then I want to see this now.
Because according to him, it's the worst movie of all
Anything
time.
he hates is probably pretty cool.
Right. So he went his long rant. He's upset, like they dragged us. Like, well, why are you seeing Barbie anyway? And that should tell you right now that all those guys are grifters. Like, don't be fooled by them, the Quarterly Geeks and Gamers. They're all grifters because they want to make 5 videos a week about Barbie. But you got Oppenheimer came out. They said nothing about Oppenheimer. They said nothing about Sound of Freedom. They could have talked about anything else, but they want to talk about the movie that's going to piss people off. So let's tell you right now, they're all grifters, they're all con artists. But what are we going to talk about this movie? Let me just jump into it. I'll be honest with you. This Barbie movie, going into it, is not what I thought it was going to be. Anybody goes to this movie, it is not what you think it's going to be. And that's what really got me curious about the movie. Because like I said, everybody on my timeline, every girl on my timeline, all wearing pink, all going to the movies in droves. They're going in packs. They're taking selfies in the bathroom, going to see Barbie. They got, the tagline, I'm a Barbie, I'm a 10, give me a Ken, all this shit like that. They're saying all this shit like that. So they're going to the movie and saying all this stuff, but none of them are saying what they think about the movie after they walk out. That's very curious. I'm like, because I'm curious to see what the target demographic, because I'm sorry, I'm not the target demographic. I'm sorry, I'm not. I am a straight male. So I'm not the target demographic.
Looking at the trailer, to me, it looked like kind of like a satire. That's what it looked like to me.
And that's the thing.
I don't know.
It is, but it isn't.
And because of that, that's what kind of made me want to see it. But
right,
I'm not. Like I said, I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see Barbie. Yeah, I'm a straight dude. I used to burn my sister's Barbie.
But not because they didn't honor the source material or shit like that.
Yeah, I played with Barbies. I fucked them all up, but yeah, cut their hair and shit.
Right, that's what it was. So it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah,
so
I was like Sid from Toy Story with the Barbies that
and that's the thing. Yeah. So let me just get into it, like what this movie is about, because this is the thing. I thought the movie, like you thought it was a satire. I thought this was going to be just an easy cash in because it's a toy material, which, and you just thought that was what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be another movie where a toy escapes Toyland, goes to the real world, and shenanigans shoot, like Master of the Universe, which is also a Mattel toy. So I thought it was going to be that, or it's going to be like Enchanted, or it's going to be like Life Size, or remember that 80s movie Mannequin? I thought it was going to be that, Barbie comes to life and stuff like that. I thought it was gonna be that, It was not. It was none of those movies. It was none of that.
You thought it was gonna be weird science and shit.
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was gonna be like weird science, like they make a Barbie doll, Barbie shows in the real world. Like, no, the movie is nothing like that. This movie is kind of trippy, to be honest with you. Here's the thing: this movie, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to put into words what Barbie was because, okay, so this movie is basically a deconstruction of Barbie. Now, not Barbie the doll, Barbie the concept, Barbie the idea, Barbie how Barbie exists in, the minds of not just women, but men also, like what we all think of Barbie. Because, like I said, Barbie as a concept, like I said, we all understand that Barbie is everything. Barbie is a lawyer, Barbie is glamorous, Barbie is an astronaut, Barbie invented an atomic bomb, all this shit like that. Barbie do whatever she wants to, But at the same time, the movie like puts a lampshade on Barbie and says Barbie, like it actually gives criticism on Barbie. Like, okay, yeah, Barbie can't be anything. Barbie is this, this goal that women can't reach. It's an unattainable reach. Like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, big titty, all this stuff like that. This is a goal that women can't reach. Well, most women can't reach, and even the women that do reach that, have to have surgery to reach that, or have to spend thousands of dollars on cosmetic surgery and stuff like that, or just cosmetics and lipstick and wigs and all the shit like that. Can't eat and get eating disorders, stuff like that. Have life-threatening plastic surgery, all the stuff like that. So the movie addresses that, like, yes,
living in the gym.
You're living in just all like that. Like Barbie goes up to these high school girls like that. Like, I'm Barbie. I'm your favorite, idol. That like, and the girls are big like fuck you. You gave me self-esteem issues my whole life. You just the fact that you even exist. Oh, just even stuff like keeping up the Kardashians, stuff like these plastic dolls that all like the whole family a bunch of dolls to me. That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, do any of them not have plastic surgery?
All of them do. Like if you show a picture of any of them 15 years ago now, they look like they look like they was in a witness protection program or some shit like that. Like they're hiding out from people. So that's my thing about that.
That sounds like a cool
right there.
Let's write that movie. Come on, let's collaborate on a script.
With and all the Kardashians are playing in it.
Or just like a celebrity, like totally talentless group of like online content creators who have a reality show and got like a makeover because they're in witness protection. and then we can have action at the end. We have a big action scene on that goes out on goes viral. The big
just that one scene.
Yeah.
On TikTok. That's all we need. So
yeah. We'll shoot it on our phones.
Nowadays, that's all you need. The phones are good enough. They just good as cameras. So yeah. All right, back to Barbie. What else about Barbie? Okay, so like I said, so that's some of the things so basically the plot of this movie, and I got to just say what it is, because the plot of this movie is that Barbie goes to the real world, and like I said, it starts on the Master Universe at the beginning of it. She does go to the real world because blah blah blah, some bullshit happens. But the thing is, okay, so Barbie world, like her world, is a matriarchy. Like I said, Barbie is everything: lawyer, astronaut, cop, whatever she wants to be. So Barbie rules her land, like all the Barbies rule the land. Meanwhile, the Kens, nobody gives a fuck about the Kens. They just are there only to get the attention of the Barbies. So it's a matriarchy. It's the exact opposite. The women rule the world and the men are just side pieces and nobody gives a fuck about them. So when Barbie does go to the real world, because that's where she got to go for some bullshit, she realized that the real world sucks because the men rule the world. She like, but so she like, this sucks. I don't like being here. Meanwhile, Ken realizes the real world is awesome. Men rule the world. I can just do anything. I just go anywhere and just be rich just because basically, if they don't say it, they can say, I'm a right man.
Got a dick. And
I got a dick. I can do whatever I want to here. So what Ken does is take the patriarchy back to Barbie land. And the men rule the world down there. That's the whole point. So yes, and this is not subtext or anything like that. They straight up say it, the patriarchy. So at the end of the day, Ken is the villain of the movie. That's the twist that they're not telling you about the movie. So Ken is the villain because
that's why people are pissed.
That's why people are pissed, because Ken is the villain. He brings the patriarchy to the Barbie world, and the Barbies become subservient. So all of a sudden, now the Barbies are no longer president, no longer lawyers and doctors like that. They're just subservient to the Kens. All they want to do is get the Kens' attention. So that's the point. So when Barbie comes back to, the Barbie land, she has to snap the Barbies out of their haze that they're in right now, because all they want to do is just impress the men. That's all they want to do. So how does she do that? She brings like one of the moms back from the real world, and the mom teaches them new age feminism. So what I mean by new age feminism is not the feminism like you back in the 70s. New age feminism is where you implant the ideas into the man. And you make the man think he's in control. You make him think that he came up with the idea, but really the woman made him think that the idea to begin with. So they're really controlling the men behind the scenes.
Kind of like being in a relationship.
Like being in a relationship. That's what they're doing. So I'm like, you putting this in this movie? Okay. So yeah, so that's what's going on right here. So it's like toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. It's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. I was like, that's why I'm like, I don't know how the target demographic is going to take this, because they just want to see a movie where it's just a bunch of jokes and everybody looks pretty. That's what they're going for. So when you get this basically message in this movie, because don't get me wrong, it is a message. This is not subtext. This is not hidden. Like the mom, she stops the movie, just stops the movie and does like a 10-minute speech on how hard it is to be a woman. Now, to be honest with you, my theater, they clapped went at the end of the speech. But like I said, the movie stopped for to give the speech. Now, some people are going to be on board with that. Some people are not going to be on board with that. Some people want to get a message. Some people don't want to come to a movie to be preached at, which this movie does. And if you just flat out disagree with that message, you're gonna hate this movie. That's why you got folks like Ben Shapiro, burning Barbie dolls and shit, like that. So that's the movie you went to.
Women aren't, the women should be blah 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 blah. Meanwhile,
right.
Dude, you're a podcaster. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Your wife is a nurse or something. Your wife is works at a hospital. You fucking talk shit on the internet.
Right. And that's what he did, just to get paid for it. So like I said, so they throwing all this into the movie. It's wow. Right here, this thing. Okay, that song kind of jamming. Not even gonna lie. I'm just kidding. It was kind of jamming.
Oh, is it a song in the movie?
That's what I'm saying. This is a musical. Oh, this is a comedy drama musical. I'm not gonna say it was like singing all through it, but yes, it's a song called "I'm Just Ken," and it pretty much sums up.
I think it lost me because I can't stand music.
Look, okay, that's what I'm like. The whole time, a part of me did think, would Eli like this movie? And then I saw this, I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think Eli would enjoy this movie. I don't know. And then it's a musical at that, So yeah. But I do want to say this: that what's his face? The guy, Ryan Gosling, Ken. He stole the movie. I'll be honest with you. He was doing like some funny ass shit in this movie, and it was making me laugh. It was hilarious in the movie. Like he'll say some funny shit, he put some sunglasses on, then say some other shit, then put sunglasses over the other sunglasses. I was laughing. I'm sorry, it was funny to me, And everything he was just doing was just funny. But the thing is, the reason he becomes a villain is because at the beginning of the movie, Barbie friend zones him. So it's more or less an incel movie. When you really think about it, like an incel uprising, what Ken kind of does, because all this crazy shit he does just to get Barbie's attention, Barbie even doesn't give a fuck about him. So that's the movie. That's all I got to say about that. Like I said, what do I think about this movie overall? Some of the jokes were funny. I did laugh at some of the jokes. The movie did kind of stop itself to just give out a feminism message, which I don't have a problem with it. It's cool. But when you stop a movie to do that, it kind of takes the momentum out of the movie. That's all I'm saying.
And that's the thing. I mean, even a movie can have a message. A movie can have social and political commentary, but when it's preaching and basically selling you something,
right?
Then it becomes pretentious and like propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, Eli, I don't think I agree.
Bottom line is this: were you entertained?
I was entertained.
Because that's what a movie should do. Yeah. You can have a message. You can, convey political ideas and whatever, but at least entertain. If a movie is just gonna sell you something, it's a commercial. You know what I mean? And like that. What was it? That Black Christmas that came out in 2019 or whatever.
Yeah.
It totally had basically everything you just said. Feminism, toxic masculinity, blah, blah, blah. It was totally beating you over the head with it, which I was fine with. But then there was no kills. There was no gore.
Right.
And so, okay, you just preached at me about all this shit, but you didn't entertain me. Therefore, that movie sucks. But then you have slumber.
Right, because you go to a movie like that to enjoy the movie. You're right.
Yeah. So. Yeah, then there are movies that do that do have deep, layers of subtext, that you can write think pieces on, but they're also awesome to watch and fun.
Right.
So bottom line, was this entertaining?
Yeah. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, it was entertaining, but right here, because like I said, some of the jokes were funny. Some of the jokes weren't. Some of the jokes I was like, you missed with that one, I don't like the message that they gave at the end. Like I said, when you're trying to go down there and you're trying to preach this message and trying to give it, I don't agree with the message. That's one thing that messed me up about this movie, because at the end of the movie, okay, so the Kens take over, but the Barbies take back over. Do they let the Kens get equal power, more power? Or do they notice the Kens? No, they don't. They put the Kens exactly back where they were before. So nothing changed. And it's like, okay, Kens, you'll get more power when the women in the real world get more power. I'm like, and then the movie ends. I'm like, wait, what? That's the end? Nah, I don't agree with that. So that's my thing right there. So you're preaching a message I don't even agree with. That's just me. Like I said, so I like the movie.
they want equality or something? Or
They don't. That's the thing. They it's like that. Well, the Kens just wanted more power than what they had, but the Barbies don't want to give them any power. They made it like, okay, we'll give you a little bit more power than what you had before. It's kind of like the women's movement back in the 70s, where we're going to give women a little bit more power. That's kind of what they're doing here. It's like everything they're doing with the Kens, they're trying to say what happened with the women back in the women's movement back then, but it's vice versa. Like, what if the men were in that position? That's what the movie is trying to say. So, but that's what's saying. So at the end of the day, it was a cool movie. Don't really agree with the message. There are going to be a bunch of think pieces in it, because I think a bunch of other stuff happened in this movie that I'm not talking about, but it happened. So,
well, yeah. It's made by Greta Gerwig. She's like an Oscar-winning director.
Right.
Like she
you can tell she got a lot of power in this movie.
She's like an actual film auteur. So if for anybody who thought they were going in to see some bubblegum pop shit, no, this was made by an Oscar-winning director.
Right.
So she was gonna do a little more with the material, you know.
She did. And it's funny, like, because I remember you posted that meme the other day about do you ever think about dying? I got to talk about how that whole thing happened.
I just thought that was funny.
But that's kind of like a plot point in the movie, because I just remembered that, because Barbie is perfect. Everything in Barbie world is perfect, and all of a sudden she just says that out of nowhere, like, you guys ever think about dying? And they're like, wait, what? You know, because
so that's in the movie.
That's in the movie. That's a line.
Oh,
I thought that's what I'm saying.
I found that on like Fangoria or something.
Yeah,
Bloody Disgusting, and that's a line out of Return of the Living Dead.
Okay, well, maybe Greta Gerwig is a fan of Return of the Living Dead, but Barbie says that in the movie. You know, everybody's like, wait, what the fuck? Because the thing is, and I think that's another message that the movie's trying to make, getting away from feminists and everything like that, is that, like I said, Barbie is a child's property. So when she starts saying fucked up shit like that, she goes to the real world to find out what's going on, and she thinks it's a girl, like a kid playing with her. But no, it's a grown adult woman that's playing with her. So the grown adult woman, the thoughts that she's having, like thoughts of death and anxiety and depression, shit like that, it's seeping into Barbie. Yeah, it's almost go
ahead.
No, I'm saying it's kind of like a message about what happens when adults play with kids' properties, and then you start getting fucked up shit like this. Like, fans, like,
that's deep.
That's the and people are completely missing that because they worried about the feminism shit. It's kind of like how we always talk about Batman. Why don't Bruce Wayne do shit? You know, help the hood. Why don't he feed the poor? Just like that. Because Batman is a kid's property. We were never supposed to take the shit this seriously.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Barbie. Barbie wasn't supposed to be taking it seriously. Star Wars is not supposed to be taking it seriously. So when you got adults and grown people that have thoughts like this, bringing them, and that's pretty much what happens. Like, Barbie is perfect. Barbie is supposed to be real. So when you start bringing real problems to Barbie land, to a kid's property, that's when you start getting all this fucked up shit that starts happening. That's what happens in the movie. So that's another layer I think the movie was trying to address. But like I said, it gets lost in the sauce with all this feminism.
It reminds me of, like, what you just said reminds me of the Lego movie. With Unikitty, the little unicorn cat with the and she's like, this is I forget what land she was from, the bubblegum pop land or whatever, and you know, we didn't never ever think about that stuff. She's bottling all that negative energy in, and she doesn't like it. Just
get that out of there, right?
Yeah, she's just trying to be pretty all the time and shit. It's just getting to her.
Right. It's kind of funny because the way that Barbie's going, because Barbie started like having thoughts of death. She started getting cellulite. You know, her feet started getting flat, so she started becoming more real. And the other Barbies were about to kick her out of Barbie land. I was like, okay, so that's another level of message we're trying to have in there also. But like I said, it's a lot of stuff. You're gonna see a lot of think pieces. YouTube, and I'm talking about them angry ass, dudes that's on. I'm talking about like real people that know this shit, smarter than us.
That will break these. That just wanted to see a movie about a doll.
Right. Right. Oh man, but that's all I got to say about that. Like I said, I'm not the target demographic. I do believe that some people, this might be their favorite movie of the year. Not mine, but I'm saying I can imagine some people saying it's favorite movie of the year. I can imagine some people saying this movie sucked. I'm thinking this movie, when it's all said and done, when we revisit this 2 weeks from now, this movie might be divisive. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, I think, I'm sure there was an audience that wanted to just, hey, it's my thing from, wanted to go for nostalgia,
right,
and see something fluffy and fun, and then they got side blinded by all this political social commentary on feminism and classism and all that shit.
Because we got to remember, like for girls, Barbie is their Transformers. Barbie is their G.I. Joe. Barbie is their Star Wars. They didn't play with that shit like we did. They played with Barbie dolls. So when they finally have a movie, it's just the same way like when Transformers was made. Oh, we're seeing this thing that we saw. We want to see this.
Yeah.
I want to make an X-Men movie or an Avengers movie or whatever childhood shit that you saw, and now it's on screen. Now you want to see that, and they're bringing their kids to them. And the movie is PG-13. There are some PG-13 jokes in there that you bring like an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, you might have to have a conversation with them afterwards to explain the joke, or not explain the joke.
And the funny thing is, they probably already know.
They probably already know. That's the thing. That's the internet for you. So yeah. So that's all I got. Like I said, 3 out of 5. That's all I got. Barbie's done.
3 out of 5. All right.
3 out of 5. I'm giving it a 3 out of. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh.
I gotta give it a point. I gotta give it a point.
Above average, huh?
Above average. It's a 3.5 out of 5 because I just remember because I watched what's the other movie? Oppenheimer. So that's why I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 because now I'm going to talk about Oppenheimer.
Did you go on the same day?
I did not go on the same day. I had to refresh. I went one day with Barbie and then the next day with Oppenheimer. I'm like, because Oppenheimer is 3 hours. So I got to go in fresh, and see what I think about that, collect my thoughts. So
did you sit through the whole thing or did you pee?
I sat through the whole thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a 3-hour long movie. I sat through the whole thing. Now, when I afterwards, I was pissing like a racehorse. But yeah, I sat through it, 3 hours. But yeah, let's talk about Oppenheimer. What I think about Oppenheimer. Like I said, I know I put in the chat, I said this movie sucked. I do think that was a little harsh for it. I'll put it like this. This movie has problems.
I'll share out the link. I've been forgetting to share the link lately.
There you go for it. Okay. So, like I said, this movie, now, every other podcast, just like everybody is shitting on Barbie and saying Barbie is the worst thing ever. The opposite side of it, everybody's saying Oppenheimer is the best thing ever. Oppenheimer is the greatest movie you will ever see in your life. That is it. Anybody says anything else differently doesn't know shit about movies.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm going to list problems I had with this movie. So, yeah. So, like I said, it's 3 fucking hours long. This movie did not need to be 3 hours long. And it's 3 hours long. It's not even action. There is no action scenes in this movie at all. It is 3 hours of people sitting around talking. That is it. So, and it's not just them talking, it's them in board meetings, Senate meetings, classrooms,
doing algebra,
chemistry, whatever the fuck you do with that. That's the movie. That is the whole movie. So it's just that. Like the whole movie is this. This is it. Oh, that's Robert Downey Jr. in the front in case you didn't recognize him.
Oh.
So when he's on screen, I forget that's Robert Downey Jr. Like who's on screen, like he's just there. I'm like, that's just an old dude. No, it's Robert Downey. First off, let's talk about Robert Downey. I don't know, some dude. That's another thing about this movie. There were so many fucking people in this movie, man. Shit. Every white person ever is in this movie. If you were a white man and you were not in Oppenheimer, you need to fire your agent or talk to somebody because you should have been in this movie. So, I'm like, every time you turn right, like I said, it's a 3-hour movie. Every time you turn right, it's another dude popping up. Like, oh shit, that's him. Oh shit, that's him. Oh shit, that's him. So it's people but just like, but then they just there and they go away. Go there and go away. But the movie wants you to remember these people. They want you to remember Robert Downey Jr.'s name in this movie. Levi Strauss, or whatever the fuck his name. I don't know what the fuck his name was. So they keep mentioning his name over and over again. Oh, he screwed you over. He screwed you over. I'm like, who? Who screwed you over? And then it's like, finally the guy sits down and he talks to him 2 hours later. Oh, that guy. You forgot the guy was in the movie because there's so many people in the movie. That's another problem about this movie. It moves too fucking fast. It's 3 hours long and it's shot like a fucking TikTok video. It's like every scene is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Boom, next scene. Boom, next scene. Boom, next scene. I'm like, damn, give me time to catch up. The fuck's going on right now? And then not only that, while these fuckers are talking, Christopher Nolan, genius ass that he wants to be, has all this loud ass music playing while everybody's talking.
Did you see it in IMAX?
Yes, I saw it in IMAX. IMAX was fucking beautiful. I do want to say this. That's one thing. This dude, Cillian Murphy, you can't see right here, but in IMAX, it's like the most IMAX.
You can see his nose hair.
You can see everything. Just like, and Like, okay, so half of the movie is
that
saying
motherfucker got
like
cataracts.
That. Yeah, the other half of the movie is just them staring at this motherfucker like this the whole time, and they said like that. I'll be honest with you, it was like it was impressive because I'm like, damn, you just staring at him the whole time. That's it. So Christopher Nolan just loves shoving the camera in this dude's face. I'll be honest with you, the two prettiest movies this year, Barbie and Oppenheimer. They're pretty. They're just pretty. But Oppenheimer is pretty in a different way. Like it's pretty but gritty, but it's pretty. So it's a pretty movie. I gotta give it that.
That's always been Nolan's strong suit. He's always been able to create an image on film.
Yeah. So that's saying so he could just have an image of just this dude staring in the camera, and everybody just you can't look away. It's just there.
And he's old school. He's like, no, fuck digital. I'm not shooting on digital. I'm shooting on film. IMAX film. Now I heard he's like shooting with IMAX now, you know.
That being said, that explosion was pretty impressive in IMAX. I got to give credit for that. The explosion was impressive. Now, he said it wasn't a nuke. Wink. You know, that's okay. It was a big explosion. That's all I can say like that. It was impressive because I had to go in my mind like, oh shit, that's not CGI. He really did that shit. You know, because your mind wants to say it's CGI, but he said it wasn't. So we're gonna go there. What else about this movie? Like I said, a lot of great performances. I'm talking.
What else can I say about this movie? Pause.
No. Like I said, there was some good stuff about the movie. Like there were pockets of this movie that had my attention all the way through, and I was locked in. Like for instance, this guy, just go ahead and just give him the Oscar. Best actor, he won it. It's his. Don't even have an award show. Just give it to him right now. Be done with it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Downey Jr. get nominated for some shit too, because he was awesome in the movie too. Like, not that's what I was about to say. Stop playing with Robert Downey Jr. Stop acting like he just went on hiatus for like the last 15 years. He just went on break and just stopped acting. He was acting in those Marvel movies. So he didn't lose anything. He was acting in the Marvel movies. He was acting before the Marvel movies. He's acting now. He was acting his ass off then. He'll probably win some shit now. But don't act like he just took a break for 15 years.
He played Sherlock Holmes.
He played Sherlock Holmes. So, yes, give the man his credit. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, but there was a lot of great performances in the movie like that. As far as acting-wise, this movie was acting-wise. Probably going to clean up at the Oscar like that. But I'm just saying, as a movie, do I recommend this movie? I can't recommend it because, like I said, it's a 3-hour-long movie of people talking. Another problem I had about this movie, like, it moves around so fast. Like, it's got time jumps. You don't know if you're in 1945, 1956, 1930, because it just jumped and it just tells you shit. They got those Senate meetings. You don't know why they're having Senate meetings. They don't tell you until like 2.5 hours into the movie why they're having those meetings. Oh, it's not a meeting. We're just trying to renew our clearance files or shit. Yeah, like, really? So this shit ain't even that serious? Really? Okay. Y'all made me think he was about to get electrocuted or some shit like that. You know, like he just want to get renewed for some shit. So, okay. So that's my thing about that. Like I said, so I'm going to rate this movie a 3 out of 5. I know it's blasphemy. I know it's heresy. How dare I rate a Christopher Nolan movie less than a 6.5 out of 5?
Really?
I'm sorry.
You're not scared for humanity after seeing this movie and blah blah blah.
Okay, and that's another thing. And now another bad thing I gotta say about this movie. The movie moves so fast that they expect you to already know this shit. Like, you don't know who Oppenheimer is? Fuck you. We're just gonna just fly past this shit, just go through it like that. I'm not AKA David. I don't know this shit. Spoon feed me this shit. Tell me who the fuck this guy is, why they at this meeting, and who all these other people is. You know, for all I know, I thought Albert Einstein was part of this shit. I didn't know he would just wave the Oppenheimer and let like, hey, you want to join my team? Nah, and left. That's it. So I didn't know this shit, you know. So they just flew. So I almost felt like this is a companion piece to another documentary you're supposed to watch ahead of time before you watch this movie. So don't go into this movie dry. Don't go in this movie thinking it's going to tell you everything you know about it. No. Know about this shit first before you know this movie. And I think because I watched the Keystone comic, aka David loved this movie. Of course he did, because he knew this shit already. He already knew going in everything that was going to happen, this, and that. So if I would have known that and prepared myself ahead of time and prepped myself on what this movie was about, I might have enjoyed it myself more also. But since I know nothing about Oppenheimer or any of this stuff like that, I was lost, to be honest with you. So
yeah. Well, because I'm into death metal or just metal. Yeah. Yes, I am familiar with Robert.
Okay.
that
the
quote,
father of the atomic bomb. So yeah.
Yeah, that quote that I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, that has been sampled by many metal bands, including mine. So yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with them. I know what the deal was, but yeah, I really didn't care. I mean, for one thing, I'm not a Nolan bro. I'm not into Nolan films, and that's just me. So I really didn't have an interest in seeing this.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
just saying why
I know
nobody.
about it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why nobody pointing out the flaws of this movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All the shit I'm saying right now, I've heard nobody say anything negative like that about it, or even mention those things about it. They just like it's the greatest thing ever. It just is.
I used
Because
to go. I went to college in Santa Fe, New Mexico, right down by Los Alamos, right down by Trinidad, where all those testing sites were.
Yeah.
Where they tested on native land, on reservations, and dug for uranium.
I was wondering where you're going to bring it up because they briefly mentioned. Like I said, I don't know anything about this stuff, so when they mentioned it in the movie, it was like very very briefly. They said it was I was like, wait, what? Kind of like they breezed past this shit fast as hell.
Oh yeah,
shit! What does Eli know about this? So
yeah, they
okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, that they tested those bombs around on reservations and dug for uranium and ore on all, and which ended up infecting those reservation lands. The people there got infected with cancer and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fucked up shit happened. So they can build this fucking thing,
Right. Okay. So I was wondering. That was something I was going to ask you, but I just forgot about it. You just brought that up. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I'm an 80s baby, man. We had the day after, we had Threads, so kind of, I guess I just had no interest in seeing this, that's just me. I'm sure it looks pretty. I'm sure it's shot in IMAX. It looks awesome, but yeah, I just like,
Oh, that is what. So I did get the message of the movie. Like I said, it was a message. And like I said, it's based on a book. I think the book is called American Prometheus. For those who don't know who Prometheus is, go play God of War. He's on God of War. Like I said, he stole fire from the gods, and his reward for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to the people was being tortured eternally. Wars and analogies and like that. Fire is technology. So he introduced technology to mankind. That's what he did. So basically, Oppenheimer is comparing himself to Prometheus, where he stole fire from the gods, gave it to man, and he got tortured. Like I said, he had ties to the communists, around that time. Before the war, it was cool. They could put up with it. After the war, when they're in the Cold War, they're like, we can't deal with you. So they basically, ran him under the ground. Plus, he wanted to speak out about the atomic bomb also, because he realized that the United States was going to just put the atomic bomb just in their arsenal. Just like, okay, we got new shit, So he was trying to stop that from happening. So they basically threw him under the ground, broke him down, and then when they finally broke him down, then like gave him a award or some shit like that. What's that old thing? Die a hero, live long enough, see yourself become a villain. That thing.
Basically, what he's his ongoing theme in a lot of
in a lot of his movies. Because Oppenheimer is not a good guy. He is really a piece of shit, to be honest with you. So but
I know he regretted it, like what he did, and even in that interview where he says that the Destroyer of Worlds line, that he's like that whole interview he's he was fascinated with the idea and doing it, and then of course they were believing in the war. They were trying to stop World War II and all that shit. Of course, they didn't drop one on Germany, but
well, Germany had already left before they already surrendered before the bomb was made, so they couldn't drop it on Germany. So they just needed to drop it on somebody. So
but yeah, I mean, it's just humans fucking with shit they shouldn't, basically.
And I do like the line in there because he, like when he was making the atomic bomb, he didn't know if he was going to destroy the world, like he was going to ignite the atmosphere when he made it. So the last line of the movie, when he was talking to Albert Einstein, he was just like, when I made the bomb, I was scared if I was going to destroy the world. Now I feel like I have. And then the movie just cut off. I was like, okay, that's a cool last line. I got to give you credit on that. So so
humanity, the stupidity of mankind.
Okay. Right.
Again, Dr. Strangelove. I used to watch Dr. Strangelove on the reg.
Mm-hmm.
I had a VHS tape I had The Clockwork Orange, The Shining, and Dr. Strange. It was my Kubrick tape, and and for a while that was like I had that on in the background all the time. yeah, as fucked up as Doctor Strangelove is, it's a satire. It's another, they're poking fun at the stupidity of humanity and their politics and all the bullshit that they think they're creating when they're just creating destruction. It's that, and that movie, it's funny and it's hilarious, but that movie ends with the end of the world. The end of the world gets destroyed at the end.
Right.
And that's kind of what humanity does, is they celebrate destruction. It's like Terminator 2. All you know how to create is death, which Sarah Connor says,
Right. And the funny thing about Nolan, that when he made Oppenheimer, basically he was saying that he was trying to compare Oppenheimer to this AI shit we got going on right now. Like, it might, don't take this shit further than what it need to be. It might start putting people out of jobs, might start doing things for us, make us lazy. Not saying Terminator 2, the machine's going to take over, no shit like that, but just saying that it may have irreparable, repercussions that we might not be able to, turn the clock back on. You might be opening another Pandora's box, just like Oppenheimer did with the bomb. Because the thing is, like, we don't know that when our when it might end up destroying the world when it's all said and done. We don't know. We haven't made it.
Like I said, it's another sort of movie of the times, because we got all these conflicts, quote unquote, going on all over the world, where certain superpowered nations are invading other nations and are threatening to use those sort of weapons of mass destruction. And so, that threat is back. And like I said, that's what we lived through when we were kids in the 80s.
The Cold War, right? Because we don't know. We don't know what
that was a real thing that we kind of sort of had to always kind of on our mind. And like I said, we watched the day after, and it scared the shit out of everybody. And that was a real thing we had to deal with. And now that threat has returned. And I think this movie is, I won't say exploiting, but I think it's a movie of its time. I think it's reminding us, those who forget history are doing to repeat it. Because like I said, I don't know the history. And if I don't know the history, I'm gonna go on a limb to say a lot of other people don't know the history also. Yeah. So have this movie give you a quick history lesson. It's cool. Make you think like, okay, this guy opened Pandora's box, now he can't close it. So and that's his legacy. Yeah. I mean, that was like a big plot in a lot of 80s. Superman 4. Yeah, we want to get rid of nuclear weapons. He grabbed all the nuclear bombs and threw them into the sun and shit like that. Like I said, there was all this. Again, those were movies of the time. There was always the action. Every action movie, they had to go stop the Soviets from detonating something or something. You know what I mean? That was like a plot to a lot of 80s action movies. But at the same time, having nukes might have prevented World War III. That's probably why we haven't gotten to World War III yet. Yeah, there's a really interesting documentary called Countdown to Zero, which talks about the world and the nuclear weapons and all this shit, and very chilling and very kind of nerve-wracking when you think about it. Brings up all these probably the same sort of anxieties of the atomic nuclear age. So but it has that same theme of wanting to get rid of would humans be able to get rid of nuclear weapons? Are they willing to? Should we? That's the question. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, because like I said, if we didn't have nuclear weapons, would we be invaded by Russia by now? Some shit like that. That's probably stopping them from coming over here and just raiding us, and us, and vice versa. So. Yeah, it's like somebody's got their hand on a button, Yeah, like you're not gonna run up in somebody's house, they got a gun in the house. That's all I'm saying. Or an alligator. Right, the alligator man. Right. Oh man, we talked about Oppenheimer way longer than I thought. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it. Right. Oh shit! But yeah, overall, I'm still gonna say I'm still giving it a 3 out of 5 because this movie is way too fucking long. They have some great themes. Give it long. It has some talking points to it, awesome scenes in it. It's a pretty beautiful movie. Probably gonna win awards out of awards but like I said, it need to be chopped down some more. This isn't the way to make a biopic. Yet? That's all. Has Nolan gotten anything yet? He won for Dark Knight. What did he win though? Oh, I don't think he did. Was that nominated for the Best Picture? I think so. Well,
I don't think he didn't win it. He didn't win it, but I think he got nominated.
Yeah,
Heath
Ledger won. Yeah.
Yeah, but
like, he hasn't won. He's never won in like he himself or any of his movies, like haven't won Best Actor, Oscar, or best picture or director or anything like that. He hasn't gotten that yet.
He might get it for this. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's gonna throw awards in for this one. Like I said, not my cup of tea, but it's an Oscar type movie. You can tell.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The Nolan bros are out in droves. Like,
dude, don't say anything bad about this movie. They will come after you. I didn't even post my review online. Yeah, it's cinema, real cinema. But cinema. I'm sorry. I like Mission Impossible better than than Oppenheimer. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Oh, well, you have lowbrow artistic taste.
You're on the wrong side of history. All this shit like that. So yeah. All right. So what do we got next? Oh, it's on you. Did you make the thing?
I did.
Did you? I'm gonna let you.
I thought you let me fuck with it. Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, hey! How do I do the background thing? Fuck it.
Yeah, you gotta put it in the other spot, but yeah.
Fuck it. All right. Yeah. Well, then I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, and then we do ticker, right?
Oh, yeah. That's it. I took you off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the ticker. Yeah.
Banner.
No, the ticker.
No, it's under banner though, right?
Oh, we'll go for it. Let's see what happens.
There we go.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
There we go. For some of y'all, like if you're listening to this podcast, you probably do know that something huge happened this weekend. San Diego Comic-Con.
Nice. Except they had no movies, no actors, no because they're on strike. So they can't go to any. So all they could do at San Diego Comic-Con was talk about comics.
Talk about comics.
That's all they could do. That's all they could do.
A Comic-Con about comic books. No shit.
Like what are we in 2005? What is this?
Yeah. So yeah, Comic-Con was this weekend. A bunch of comic news. Trying to think of something that the Godzilla versus the Justice League comic that was announced. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna read that.
Okay, I might check that out. Yeah.
It's like the 30th anniversary of Army of Darkness, so they're gonna do a new Army of Darkness series from IDW, I believe. Tim Seeley's got a new hack and slash book coming out. And what was that? The new Punisher.
Oh,
they announced. Yeah. They announced a new Punisher, not Frank Castle, some space guy, laser tag Punisher guy who's got
Joe Garrison.
Joe Garrison, that's his name. That's a pretty cool name. That sounds like a tough guy name.
Yeah, did they announce a Barbie coming? I don't.
Did they?
So. Not that I know of.
Who owns Barbie? Boom or somebody?
Well, I mean, like the comic.
But like comic book, is it Boom or is IDW? I never seen no ID.
I've never seen a Barbie comic. I mean,
who does all the vampires? Is that IDW or Dynamite? Dynamite does like Vampirella and Red Sonja, all the hot chicks.
Yeah, Betty Page and yeah.
I would think maybe Dynamite would have Barbie if they're doing Barbie comics. I don't know. But yeah, the Joe Garrison, he sounds like a tough guy. Right, like an 80s tough guy character, So I'll give him that.
What's up with the space guns, man? I don't get that shit.
He was an ex-SHIELD agent, so that's why he's got all this gnarly tech. He looks like Star-Lord, basically. So
when you read the Punisher comic now, it's gonna be like pew pew, set face stun. I don't want to read that shit,
butter.
Yeah.
Or or what's another Pacow or blam.
Shoo, some shit, yeah.
Yeah. Shoom.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Just do like Cable. Just what the fuck? They sound like Cable.
Yeah, he looks like Cable. Like, yeah. The reason why I read the Punisher is I want to see, a dude shoot up bad guys with guns. The mob.
Right. And I feel like he's gonna be shooting aliens and shit and going back in time. I don't want to.
Yeah, I want Punisher, not Star-Lord.
Let's stop shitting on something we don't know anything about. All we saw was a picture, and a shitty picture at that, but we don't know anything else. So let's wait for it to come out and then shit on it.
Then we'll shit on it. Yeah. So that was the big that was like a one of the announcements I noticed. But back to this, with the reason for this picture here is Daniel Warren Johnson. He won an Eisner for Do a Power Bomb.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool.
And the Eisners is basically the Oscar and the Emmys for comics, for those that don't know. So.
Yes, that's
Didn't Punisher get canceled? Frank Castle got canceled.
Yeah.
Frank Castle. So it's a new Punisher.
Marvel let the racists win, and they let them have Frank Castle and the skull logo.
They changed the logo, and now he's another guy.
So I'm sure Frank will come back at some point. But
here's what I hope. What if this Punisher is like an asshole and takes the shit even further than the other Punisher, and Frank has to come back because this new Punisher? What if this new Punisher is the straight up Proud Boy? Marvel won't do that, but I'm just, what if they
see
did?
See what you're doing, Roy? You're writing a better story.
We'll see.
That does sound awesome, though.
Right. And Frank got to come back to fix the thing and shit like that. But anyway,
you miss me. But no, I'm a big fan of Daniel Warren Johnson. I thought Do a Power Bomb was awesome. It actually got me teared up and shit. It's his ode to pro wrestling. He wrote and drew it. It's a great book, and I think he deserves his kudos. And that's pretty cool that he got the Eisner. So that's about all I wanted to say about Comic-Con.
Back to you. All right. Only thing I got to say about Comic-Con, like I said, now here's the, if you really want to go into deep depth about Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, go listen to this Geeks and Comics. Their whole show is about that. They break down all this shit. So go listen to them.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it tonight. I'll probably get to it tomorrow. Or something.
Yeah. The only thing I got to say about Comic-Con is I just want to know what this was about. Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. It may not be nothing. It may mean nothing. But it's the fact they were together. It's just like, what does this mean? What
Batman and Spawn again?
I'll take it. So it may mean nothing, but I'm just curious about what it might mean. That's all. What do we got here? Queen.
Oh, hey, Donut's in the house. What up, Donut? Donut, yo.
That's Donut. Man? Oh, Donut, what's going on?
Yeah, man. I missed the last couple nights of Donut Scary Movie Night. No, Donut, shout out to Donut. He got me through 2020, the pandemic, watching horror movies every night at 10 p.m.
Shout out to Donut. What's the name of the streaming game? We're gonna give him a shout out. We're gonna
Donut Scary Movie Night. Check him out on Twitch. Scary Movie. Oh, cool. On Twitch. He's got a YouTube page, Donut Video.
Cool. All right, so, that's all we gotta say about that. Okay, I was gonna do some video game shit, but I'll do that next week when it's slower. So yeah. But until now, we're going to just jump into the next part of the podcast. Like I said, there's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books. We're jump into it. And Eli, I think you should go first. But what you plan on do first?
What should I do first? Should I do?
No problem.
Yeah, shit. I'm totally caught off guard. Talk about Oppenheimer more, dude. While I get picture. I'll talk about Blade.
I will say something about Oppenheimer. Yeah, there was a lot more sex in this movie than I was expecting. Like, it's actually straight up nudity in it. What's old girl? The new Black Widow chick, Florence Pugh, whatever.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Yeah. Naked all through the movie, like Pug? She was like allergic to clothes the whole time.
Pew or Pug? I thought it was like Pug or something.
One of us saying it wrong. I don't know who's saying it wrong, but either way, yeah. So she was like naked all through the movie, like when he said that long, "I am become death." Yeah, he was fucking her while he said it. So I like, okay, what are you expecting that?
You're a big, bright, shining star.
Now that's how you drop a line. So, yeah.
About to push the button, baby. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh no.
What?
Can I read this too? No, go for it. Do what you do.
Yeah, all right? Everything all right?
I'm thinking. Should I do it? I want you to do it.
Did you do Blade?
I had Blade on my list.
Oh, well, you do Blade.
I'll do Blade. Okay.
You'll go balls deep into it.
Okay, you just jump in when you need to. Jump in when you need to. What's the Twitch channel name again? We will post. We will post it when this
donut video.
Yeah, donut video. When it's done, we will post a link. Don't worry about that. So.
Yeah, he streams horror movies at. It used to be 10 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. Mostly every night. He used to do it every night during the pandemic, but now things are going back to normal. So, he go follow him on Facebook too. Donut Scary Movie Night. He usually posts the schedule when he's going to show the movies and stuff.
Yeah. Damn, Eli, I was trying to be lazy, man. I was gonna let you go first, but they were like, "Damn, I want to do this." Because I'll be honest with you, I'm just go ahead and say this. I'm gonna just say this right now. This is probably my book of the week. This is my book of the week.
Blade?
Yes.
So you're going first?
I'm going first.
Okay.
I'm up.
Yeah. Yeah. Blade was pretty dope.
Okay.
I'll say book of the week.
Book of the week. We're just saying it right now. It was that ain't it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so like I said, this is Blade #1. They got a new book, and Eli, every time a new black superhero comes out, I gotta check out the writer, see who it is. When I saw that Brian Hill was on it, I was good. I'm straight. Brian Hill's awesome. He did it outside his book with Black Lightning was the leader, and Batman was like funding for the background. If you hadn't read the book, go read that book. Everybody had read it. It's like 13 issues. Ra's al Ghul, they fight him. I think that's how they finally beat him. But anyway, Brian Hill is doing this book, Blade. His ass should have been on Black Panther, but I will happily take him being on Blade. I will be perfectly fine with that. So yeah. So this is Blade #1.
Dope,
yeah. I don't know how much you been keeping up with Blade. Eli, is he still with the Vampire Nation is he still sheriff of the Vampire Country or some shit?
I don't know. I read a few issues of the Blade daughter book where he had the daughter.
Yeah.
Dropped it. There was something where he was in Russia or whatever with the vampire. Yeah.
He was like sheriff or some shit. I don't know.
But this doesn't really. This is just straight up.
It didn't say anything about it. He may still be up, but it didn't say anything about that in this book. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a good jumping on point if you want to get into Blade comics.
Like if you know nothing about Blade other than just watch the movies, you're good. Like you're good.
That's all you need to know for this book.
Yeah. All you need to know is that motherfuckers like the ice skate uphill. That's all you need to know. So let's get to it. Blade #1. All right. So, like I said, the book starts off it like in every Blade movie, TV show, comic, whatever like that. Starts in the nightclub. Here's the thing, Eli. This annoyed the hell out of me. I don't know that song.
I didn't know it either.
I almost messaged Brian Hill to be like, what song is that? I Googled it, couldn't find it. Don't know what the song is. Doesn't matter. Anyway, you got a bunch of people in here.
Deep. You went deep trying to find a song.
I really tried to find a song. I put Google in. I went Spotify, Genius, everything. I could not find it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so some guy locks the door.
If I don't know the song, I don't care.
Greg, I can't do it. It's gonna fuck with me all week until I find the name of the song. I'm gonna message him tomorrow.
It's gonna go on your playlist and shit.
Brian Hill, you had 24 hours to respond. What's the name of this song? What are we talking about? Oh yeah, this chick. Okay, so we already know what's going on. She's in a room. She's not in a club. She's at some kind of club, whatever like that. They dance around something like that. They lock the door. So guess what? Everybody's a fucking vampire. That's what it is. So they try to slash at her. She tries to run away. They find out they lock the door on her. She's knocking away, and nobody can hear her scream except for one person, So everybody's coming to her, and then they see a headlight, and they gets bang and bam, crash through the door. You already know. Boom, doom, 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 that Blade theme song comes in.
Eye against eye.
That song, yeah, with most Def. Okay, so this thing. So we already know that Blade used to ride around in Dodge Charger in the movies, but he upgraded. The Vampire Nation paying pretty good because he rose up in a Lambo. I'm like, okay, Blade, and then the vampires looking at, they already know who it is. With the
ultraviolet headlights.
Right, with the ultraviolet headlights. So if they shine on them, they burn them up. And so he like, you go hide somewhere. And now we get the full page of Blade in front of a Lambo with two Blade. Now, how you feeling about the coat, Eli? I don't know. I kind of miss the trench coat.
The John Wick look.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you miss the trench coat?
Oh,
I don't know. You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up.
I didn't hate this, but yeah, I mean, he does look. He does have that Dracula cape style look with the trench coat. But
yeah,
I was okay with this.
I can deal with it. The more I read the book, the more I can get into it. Like, okay, he's got a new look. They got to switch it up.
Like John Wick,
Yes. Okay. So you want to do John Wick vampires? Okay, let's go. So he so which one of you think you're the bad guy tonight. That's it. He got to say some catchy shit, before he just starts chopping heads off.
That's just dope. And there's no text. I like it's just all visual.
Right. You can just feel it, and then they just open it. And then the last vampire just runs away. She's like, fuck this, I'm out. She's like, they gonna get you, Blade. So she grabs the person. Apparently, Blade came here for her, specifically for her. He didn't just come here just because the damn was distressed. He was basically on a mission to get her. So riding around, trying to find out who she is. She's just like, somebody called me and told me to go to this bar. And then I didn't know it was a whole bunch of vampires. Then you showed up there. So she was like, so we go to it and we find out 1 week ago, that's her boyfriend that got chopped up and pinned to the wall, stuff like that. And who's investigating it? Blade and a vampire named Tanaka. So
no, he's a werewolf.
What did I say? Vampire? I meant to say werewolf. Yeah. Okay. So it's werewolf. So basically the werewolf nation is kind of like hiring Blade to find out what the hell is going on with this. Like somebody chopped up this dude and kidnapped the girl. The girl, like that's her name right there. They say her name is Dana Smith. She is important. She's not a werewolf. She's not a vampire. She's something. But the point is we need her because whatever's going to happen with the second nation, you like the werewolves and vampires, monsters like that, she's important. That's what the elders think, So, Blade's like, okay, I'll do the job. I'll find out who's trying to kill her. I'll bring her back to you, bring her back safe and sound. Oh, and then another thing, he looks at another thing. The dude on the wall wakes up. Blade throws his blade through his head. Feel like the guy wasn't dead. So he realized, like a demon.
Did you watch The Strain?
No, is that like a Stephen King thing?
There was Guillermo del Toro. He wrote those books. They're like old school folklore vampires called Strigoi, with the kind of like in Blade 2.
In Blade 2, yeah. I remember him saying something about that.
Yeah, that's what he kind of reminded me of.
Like the creatures from the animal kingdom, when they suck blood, that's what they do. That's why he wanted to make them like that.
They're like ticks, like they're blood suckers,
Yeah. So basically what Blade finds out is that dude is like, he was dead, but he was reanimated. So like whoever this is can reanimate the dead. So I need to find this girl quick, And then he's like, well, if you're lying to me, I'm coming back for you next, Blade shit. And so he takes the girl to Tanaka's house and he basically asks the question. She's like, look, I don't know what the hell happened. They killed my boyfriend like a week ago. And now they after me. And I've just been on the run since then. And Blade like, you're not giving me enough information. But then that's when a dude jumps through the window and he's like, oh, let me guess, the guy look like him, right? So, and he can't understand the language, but it doesn't matter. The dude takes out a blade. He takes out his blade, They go at it. He takes Blade out like pretty quick. Like, I'm not used to Blade getting his ass kicked, like at all. But yeah. So, and then he does like some magic shit to pause her where she is so he can, so he can kill her. And then he sets fire to his sword and has a lightsaber. Blade, before she gets killed, Blade kicks a couch at her, knocks her down out the way. And then that's when Blade like, okay, round two, and then stabs him in the foot with his blade. They go at it. Another fight scene. Whoever this artist is awesome. Kicks the blade out of his hand. But I guess the dude does some Jedi shit and like calls the blade back to his hand, because we never see him like pick up the blade.
Yeah, that page is dope. Yeah.
That whole page, the whole layer. That's when you start realizing, okay, shit isn't right. Even though you got this awesome ass fight scene, because you're looking at her. Also, she starts smiling. Look at her
reactions. Yeah, her reaction to every strike. And then she smiles when Blade gets her.
Yeah, she's like, okay, something isn't right here, But anyway, Blade wins the fight because Blade is Blade, because he's badass. Chops the dude's head off. The end. That's it. So, and then she's like, okay, you okay? She's like, oh yeah, I'm okay. I haven't been this okay in 5,000 years. And she holding the sword that the dude just got a head chopped off. So, and that's when Blade were like, yeah, I fucked up. So apparently the werewolf hired Blade to protect that dude against her. But the thing is, she is the demon and the dude was the good guy. But the dude was so good, nobody could beat that guy but Blade. Because she was like, if nobody came and rescued me, the dude was going to chop my head off. But thank you, Blade, for saving me. Now I can conquer the world and I won't kill you.
Yeah, and the only thing that could kill her was that sword he had.
The sword that she's holding right now. Yeah. So that's Blade to set fire shit like that. So and the only reason she won't kill Blade right now because she find Blade cute. That's why. And she liked the way he killed. So yeah. That's the only thing that saves him. So, and she like, her name is not Dana. Her name is the Adana or the Adana, whatever you want to call it. Like that. But the point is, she's evil, 5,000-year-old demon, And now she's about to be released in the world. Blade's like, damn, okay, I got fucked up. It's cool. Whatever. Chops her head off. And she's just like, did you not hear a word I said? You can't kill me.
She catches her own head.
She catches her own head like, you can't kill me, man. So stop trying. And then what does she do next? And she just holds it. That's another awesome panel right there. Where Bailey like, the fuck? You know? Yeah. So then she does some shit like blast Blade with some glass in his hand. Like she gonna heal up. It doesn't matter. Puts her head back on her body and just walks the fuck off. You know, out the window. And she's like, don't worry, Blade. I'm gonna hear you scream again. And I don't know if she meant that in a violent way or sexual way. Or maybe both. I don't know. Whatever it is. So she walks out, peels the skin off her body. I guess she was just, you know.
This was dope.
Yeah. So I guess that Dana was a real person and she was just walking around her body, I guess.
Like Hellraiser. She took some girl's skin.
That's what it seemed like. They don't explain it, but that's why I assumed what happened, you know.
Yeah.
And then the darkness forms around like just the husk of her body that's left, and she disappears. That's it, you know. Cut to Cambodia 2 weeks later. And the brother of the dude that got killed, we didn't get I don't think he ever said his name, but this chick name is Ratha. I think that's the name is.
Yeah,
and
he's part of some ninja demon fighting clan.
Demon slaying fight, whatever like that. Yeah.
Demon slaying ninjas or whatever.
Yeah. So she wants to go meet Blade because Blade is there right now. They caught Blade and chained him up in the basement and just beating the shit out of him, you know.
Yeah, because he killed their brother.
Yeah. So they try to punch him, and she like, I want to see Blade. Like, no, you can't see Blade because after we're done beating the shit out of him, we're gonna kill Blade. And she's like, nah, that can't happen. So she sneaks down there while Blade getting the shit beat out of him. They just like stabbing him, shooting him with arrows and shit. They're like, pierce him, you know. So she goes down and just kills all of them. She's like, nah, y'all can't kill him. I need Blade to do this. And then she talks to Blade, and she's just like, the world's about to end. Can you help me? He's like, maybe. And she's like, you're not who I thought you were. And like, everybody says that, you know, to be continued. So yeah. So Blade teams up with the girl who's another trainee ninja slayer who she chopped the head off of her brother to fight some demon ninja goddess that wants to fuck Blade. The end.
And take over the world.
Yeah. So I'm on board. I'm
this
there.
Is dope.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. So shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like Marvel really pushed it. I was surprised how hard this book went.
Yeah, like it's a Blade book. You got to go at it. It can't be PG-13. They show Blade chopping off heads, arms, all this shit. So.
She rips off her skin. Like holy shit. This is
So Marvel came with it. So I'm on like, look, you got Brian Hill. If y'all don't know Brian Hill, read up on Brian Hill shit. Brian Hill has some awesome shit. Like his catalog is awesome. So yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will get it promoted to Black Panther. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're really trying to hype up the Blade train because he supposedly has a movie coming out.
Maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, after this writer's
that's what they say. But yeah.
But if that's what they're gonna do, if they're gonna like push it hard, like this book was, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, and I also like it that he wasn't fighting vampires; he was fighting like demons and shit. Like, is that a thing? Does Blade just fight whoever nowadays?
Back in like the Midnight Suns, yeah, he went up against Lilith with Ghost Rider and all. He teamed up with Ghost Rider. Yeah,
gotcha. If you from hell, he'll chop your head off. Basically, he doesn't discriminate. So yeah.
Yeah, he's part of the Dark Stalkers or whatever. Midnight Suns.
Yeah, they just fight anybody. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm on board. If you don't want to fight, kill vampires, kill
5 out of 5. Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 also because the art is awesome. The art is awesome.
Yeah,
so yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised because, like I said, I read the Blade's Daughter book. I read the one where he was in Russia, and those are just you know. So I was like, I'll check. It's a slow week.
It felt like Marvel was putting money into this Blade book. That's what I like. Put some effort into these books. So yeah.
Well, you got to think about it. The original Blade movie kind of put superhero. This is before the X-Men.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Spider-Man.
It's saved Marvel. Blade saved Marvel.
Yeah, Raimi's Spider-Man movies and shit. You know.
Yeah.
That was before that. So Blade was like a dope ass comic book movie that put asses in seats and, you know, said, hey, this is a comic book character, and we made a dope ass movie with them. So, yeah.
So yeah, put some money in Blade. Make Blade great again. All right, now it's on you. I'm giving it to you now.
I was like, what can I do now? You did Blade. You're doing Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter, right?
You did it. Like, yeah, you did read that. Okay.
Yeah, you're taking all my books, man. Guess I'll do Alien.
Okay. All right.
Alien.
I didn't read it. Sorry.
The only book I got left. Yeah, this is Alien Thaw number 4. This shit is finally starting to hit the fan. So, story so far, there's an ice planet where this sort of these miners were on. This family of miners were basically digging for ice because water is, a rare commodity in the universe. We need water. Water is life. So they're mining for ice. They're mining for water. The woman in charge is pregnant. She has a daughter who's kind of running around the facility, getting into shenanigans and just being a teenager. The husband is, there too. He discovers that the face hugger. They discover a face hugger. And then they discover that there's a bunch of aliens frozen in the ice. And they were going to use that as a way to sell, a means to get off the planet. And, because she didn't want to have her baby on this ice planet. They wanted to basically retire with the money they were going to make from finding the alien. Well, Weyland-Yutani, the evil corporation, comes down, takes over the whole operation, buys out their company, and says, yeah, this is our planet. This is our water now. You guys are employees of Weyland now and all that shit. Of course, the dad disagrees. They throw him in jail. So there's this whole thing about corporate takeover theme going on. The Weyland starts digging the ice. They let loose a bunch of aliens. They are now running the facility. They all thawed, and now the aliens are, the swarm is attacking the facility now. Everyone's getting murked by aliens. So this is issue number 4. The girl and the mom are running around trying to, dodge aliens, trying not to get killed by aliens, trying to break the dad out of jail. While they're doing that, her water breaks.
Oh shit! Okay.
And she starts giving birth right there, and the daughter has to perform a C-section on her mom while they're getting chased by aliens.
But it is an actual baby, not an alien popping out of her. Am I spoiling? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. She gives birth. She takes the baby out. Her mom dies. I thought that was pretty gnarly. I was like, holy shit, the mom died. The girl puts the alien in this little vial cylinder thing and then takes off because the aliens are coming. She's getting attacked by an alien, and then her dad shows up and starts fucking up the alien and bashes it in with a big old wrench. And gets acid all sprayed all over, because aliens have acid for blood. So the dad comes in with this big old wrench and just fucks up the alien, gets acid splashed all over himself, and starts melting. And the daughter's like, "Oh shit, dad!" But it turns out the dad's an android.
Oh, okay.
To be continued. So I'm like, okay, the dad's an android. What the fuck was the mom? What the hell? And the mom was pregnant with what? That's why I'm like,
don't they have some white stuff coming out of him? Maybe.
They some kind of milky residue inside those androids.
It's not
the
milk.
Synthetics. The synthetics on Alien. Yeah. So a lot of shit happened. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Last couple issues were kind of getting stale and exposition dumps and kind of, getting a little boring. But the shit finally hit the fan in this issue. So they haven't lost me yet.
Cool. All right. So next book I'm going to do is Black Panther number 2. Oh, no, not Blade. Where am I? Okay, in fact, there we go. Next book I'm going to do is Black Panther number 2. So yes, this book did drop. I decided to stick with it. I'm just going to see where will it take us? Where will it go? So yeah. This book is picking up where they fought death. No, they find out there's a death lock in Wakanda. So this is kind of picking up from there. So actually, no, that the Black Catwoman chick shows up in this one.
The Black Catwoman. Yeah.
Yeah. So we find out who she is. So basically, the book starts off, before we get to the Black Catwoman, we're back in the burning T'Chaka. Like I said, the city that's away from every other city like that. We meet these
Blade
two right here.
Blade Runner Wakanda,
Yeah, Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, a lot of stuff like that. And we get a name drop in this book right here. Like I said, these are two cooks that working at a restaurant. And this woman says that her sister is Queen Divine Justice. I haven't heard that name in years. That was back from the Christopher Priest run, where she's like M'Baku's cousin, some shit like that. I thought she was going to be in the movies, but didn't show up in the movies. That's all I'm going to say about Queen Divine Justice now, because she doesn't show up in this book at all. If she ever shows up, I will go into detail about it. Right now, she's not a thing. Anyway, the cook, about time for him to leave, he leaves. And when he leaves out of there, he gets a call from Shuri. And she's like, brother, take that shit off. And apparently, T'Challa is wearing like some kind of fake hologram prosthetic to disguise himself, so he can get a job and find work there, because he's the most famous person in Wakanda, so everybody knows what he looks like. So he got to have some kind of thing to disguise himself. So he goes there and he's like, I can't do this right now. I gotta be somewhere in a little while. So he gets a ding from his Kimoyo beads, and he's off to scurry the rooftops and shit like that, So meanwhile, he goes to this wealthy mansion, and the Black Catwoman is there. Okay, her name is Beza. I think that's what her name is. Beza. That's what her name is. So, yeah, Focus Beza. So she's there, and she sneaks in doing her Catwoman shit, sees two people in bed sleeping. She sneaks past them, finds a safe, cracks open the safe, and she sneaks out of there. But when she gets there, the Black Panther's there waiting for her. I got you now, Black Catwoman. So they fight. And they do their flirty shit and stuff like that. Oh, you're good. Oh, you're good too. And Black Panther gets the best of her. And she's like, well, you could have beat me a long time ago. Why didn't you beat me fast enough? He's like, because it's rare I fight someone as good as you. T'Challa's still doing his flirty shit with her, because that's his new Black Catwoman, And while she does that, she does some shit to get away from her. So she cracks the window above them, falls to the floor. And she like, okay, you better run with fake ass Black Panther for the kid, because she thinks it's a cosplayer. She doesn't think it's T'Challa, because nobody think that T'Challa would ever actually come down to burn T'Chaka. So they think it's just some Black Panther cosplayer running around with, which is a big no-no with them. Like, you don't run around pretending to be Black Panther. Like, it's something you just don't do. So, but anyway, T'Challa runs out of there. He like, oh, fine, I'll get you next time. And while they run in there to find out what's going on, she's gone also, and she's gotten away from the cuffs. So cutting back to the Ilonga family. So what we do know about the burning T'Chaka is that it's run by 5 crime families. One of them is the Ilonga family. We don't know the other families, but I guess that's for another book. And they're working on the Deathlocks. So, and basically they've hacked into the Deathlocks and hacked into the Deathlock, got the Deathlock here and reprogrammed it. But they put Wakanda technology into the Deathlock now. So, but some of the Deathlock is still squeaking through, like RoboCop Alex Murphy. They're like, where am I? Get me out of here. But they just hit a button and just turn them back into Deathlock. And they send some people in there to like, okay, test out, see what Deathlock can do. And they all like cyborg robots and shit like that. Deathlock gets into them, takes them out quick. Dope. Yeah, like they're barely even there. And yeah, and Deathlock like, no, what did I do? I don't want to kill again. And then they cut him off and they're like, boom, he shuts down. So they're like, so what do you think? After he shoots that guy. So yeah. So basically they have a Deathlock under their control. Meanwhile, in the Panther cave, okay, this book is just Batman. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I'm gonna go a little bit deep into it also.
We said that last time. We like
no, it really is Batman now. At first it was kind of like, okay, you taking cues from Batman. No, it's just Batman. So
yeah, it was and like what was going on in Tinian's run. Where Batman lost,
where Batman
loses
broke
Batman. He's no longer rich, or he can only afford one block of city. Right. Lives on he owns the block.
Still has a computer down here, so he's spying on the Black Catwoman. He's like, who is she? Where could she be? And that's when Shuri, gets in contact with him. He's like, look, I'm trying to tell you that I'm gonna send somebody down there to help you out, but I just want you to let you know they passed some laws in the main city of Wakanda right now, where they're passing a transparency law where they're going to monitor everybody's phone call. If they pass that law, I won't be able to contact you anymore. And I'm worried about you because you don't have, anybody to help you out down there. They're like, man, don't worry about that. I'll be all right. So he puts his, secret identity back on. Some guy named Izzy, whatever it is like that. He got some whole backstory about him. I made up a bullshit story to make people think I'm somebody else, but just so I can move around freely in the town so people can't bother me. So like, anyway, but I got to be somewhere. He like, and Shuri tells him, okay, I need you to be at this place at this time right here because I got somebody going to deliver something for you, and don't tell anybody. So like, okay, cool. So he goes to the spot where Shuri tells him to go, and who's waiting for him there? Nightshade. Now, if you don't know who Nightshade is, Nightshade was actually in season 2 of Luke Cage. The chick at the end, whatever. Mm-hmm. She turned Captain America to a werewolf one time too. That's a long story. We're not gonna talk about that right now, but it was a thing. Yeah. She drops off some information for Black. Oh, and Black Panther got a whole flirty thing with her too. Like they'll fight each other. She's like, you're smart, but and also lovely, but evil. Always saying some shit like that. So, meanwhile, we go back to across town and we see this chick, and of course we know it's the Black Catwoman, Black Selena Kyle, because the way she's dressed. Of course, only Black Catwoman dressed like that. And what we find out is that the reason she cracked into that safe is because she's giving information to this old dude right here, because the dude in that mansion kidnapped that guy's daughter, and she's trying to get information to free him. So she's actually one of the good guys. So yeah, Black Panther fucked that shit up because he don't know how Burn It the Choco operates. So while she's there, and she stole from the safe some thumb drive files to get on him, and she found that out. And while she's there, I think I need to find out more information about you. And she turns around, and it's T'Challa. He's there waiting for her to be continued. So that's the book. So let's talk about this story about how Catwoman breaks into a safe. Batman stops her, but she gets away anyway. But she's really working on the side of the Angels because one of her friends got kidnapped. What story is that? That is the Batman. The movie, The Batman. It's the sole fucking story. They're just doing that. So I'm just like, really? That's what y'all got?
It is really wordy too.
It is really wordy also.
Like the last issue was, that's what I had issues with. It was just so full of text,
Yeah, and it is because you got a monologues like that. Because I'm thinking she's trying to follow in what Coach did. Yeah, so she's trying to follow in his footsteps because she didn't really write like that, but she's trying to mimic what he did. But at the same time, it's a whole lot of words, but you're just saying simple shit. It's Batman. That's all. So.
But now we're on issue 2. And I feel like they're still like introducing more characters.
Yeah. Like, I was issue 2, they should though. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like all hyped up about Deathlock last issue, and we barely get to see any of them. And I was hoping to see that.
Instead, well, the cover of issue 3 has like Deathlock, like yeah. So, but it might not happen because you know how covers are. So
yeah. But this just had them. He fights the Elektra. That we get the Daredevil Elektra fight scene.
Right. The femme fatale. Yeah, we've seen.
Yeah, the flirty fight between the heroes, and I don't know.
It's all right, but it's just like,
it's all right.
Yeah. Should have put Brian Hill on there. But, oh well. All right. So what you got next?
I'll do the New Guardians.
Okay. I thought you fell off on this one.
I did, but then after watching the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a tool like that. I gave it another chance. And the last issue was pretty cool. So it's still following this whole space Western thing. The narration, let me tell you about these outlaws in space. That kind of has that feel, that narration going. Mm-hmm. This is this whole thing where the Guardians.
And the Guardians always had that Firefly type feel to them anyway.
Yeah, space outlaws,
a
ragtag ruffians, traveling the frontiers of space.
Right.
So basically they're dealing with Groot fall, which is where Groot has turned into some weird space entity that shoots meteors onto planets and transforms them into plant worlds. Like basically transforms them to living Groot planets.
Interesting. Okay.
So ain't such a bad thing, I guess. But this one we focuses on where Rocket's been. Rocket's been MIA up until now. And the last issue, Star-Lord got sucked into a Groot fall meteor and basically started communicating with Groot. And Groot was like, "Hey, Peter, what's up?" He was all happy. Like, right. And Peter was like, "Groot, what the fuck you doing? You're like destroying the universe." Like, "No, I'm not. I'm bringing life to the universe. What the fuck are you talking about?" Go talk to Rocket. He knows. So, okay, we better go find Rocket. So that's where we are with this issue. Rocket is on another planet he's a sheriff. He's a sheriff of an old Western planet. At one point, a train comes into town and some preacher gets off with his congregation. And he's talking about how, like a hippie, like we must welcome the life. It sounds like he's actually worshiping Groot Fall.
That would sound like, okay, so he's worshiping Groot. Okay.
And then Groot falls, a Groot meteor hits his planet. And Rocket goes in and tries to fucking take it out, but gets his ship destroyed. And then he tries to go and takes on the meteor by himself. But right before he gets killed, he gets beamed up to the Guardian ship. And he's on board and Star-Lord's like, "Yo, what's up, Rocket? We got to do something about Groot Fall." Mm-hmm. So it was pretty fun, but kind of sad. You get a sense that something we don't know. We don't know why Groot turned into Groot Fall. That's what we don't know yet. And we don't know why Rocket was on his own. But we do know that Rocket is mourning. Like, he is sad. On this planet that he's on, he built himself a robot Groot.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so he's basically on the shoulders of this giant robot that walks around town as his deputy saying, "I am Groot. I am Groot." So that's kind of a, Rocket's kind of mourning or missing his friend to the point where he built himself a robot version of his friend.
So something had to happen with that.
Yeah. So I thought it was fun. I like this issue. So now the Guardians are getting back. Rocket's back on the crew, and we're gonna figure out what's going on because Rocket knows something about why Groot is doing what he's doing. So. Okay,
so who's the team now? Like who?
Oh, it's Nebula, Drax, okay. Star-Lord, Mantis, like all the
okay. Moondragon, not there. Oh.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it's just the people from the movie. Gamora. They're all there.
I didn't know if they had added the other people there, but okay.
No, it isn't like It ain't like Annihilation where who the fuck are all these motherfuckers?
Right. Every time I turn around, it's another one show up.
Hey, who the fuck is this? He wasn't in the movie. This fireman or Fire Lord.
Or guy with crystals and shit. Who
the fuck is this guy? Oh, he was an old
right
herald of Galactus. What? How many heralds did Galactus have? Jesus.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So
4 out of 5. This was cool.
Okay, cool. All right. Next one I'm gonna do. Last one I got. Sorry, I'm gonna take another one of your books. So we're gonna do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter 2. Because I gotta say 2 on there. So yeah. But yeah, the second part of this book. So basically, the first book ended where Guile and Raphael got into an argument and they took it to the back alley, took it to the streets. So they had a street fight. So the Street Fighter. So yeah. So let's get to it and see what we got. So starts off right at the beginning. Raphael and Guile get into it, having a street fight, beating the shit out of each other. And and Raphael thinks that Guile paid the ref to call the fight, to call the fight that they had in the ring. That's why they're fighting in the street right now. And he's like, "Man, why would I do that?" He's like, "Your name is Guile." He was like, "Shut the fuck up and go paint some baby angels." Raphael, making a play on their name. So yeah. And while they're fighting, they get this drone that's flying over their head and shocks everybody in there, knocks everybody out. So who sent that drone? Baxter Stockman. He sent it. And the reason he sent it is because he told M. Bison, who he's teaming up with right now, "I told you, don't go anywhere in the Turtles. Leave the Turtles out of this. Just deal with the Street Fighters, and that's it." And Bison just like, and Bison didn't even argue with him. He's like, fine, okay, we'll take the turtles, put them somewhere else, and the Street Fighter somewhere else, and they won't, and I won't touch them. I'll leave them alone. That's it. So the Street Fighter's in another area. They thinking that the turtles are evil. The turtles thinking that the Street Fighters are evil, and they just like, look, we just gonna finish this fight and we just gonna get up out of here. That's when Raphael is waiting for Leonardo to hop to the ring to fight, and they fight. They at first they're kind of like going back and forth, kind of tired, stuff like that, until Raphael starts talking shit, which Ryu wouldn't do this. Like I said, from what I know from playing Street Fighter, he doesn't talk shit like at all. He just beats ass and leave. That's it. But he ain't talking shit to Leonardo. He's like, after I whoop your ass, then I'm gonna take your brother ass. Right. Then your brother, I'm gonna whoop his ass out in the middle of the street outside. And that's when Leonardo like, oh, you don't touch my family. So then all of a sudden, he got a power boost to start beating shit at Ryu. And he's like, well, where did that come from? How'd you whoop my ass like that? He was like, you threatened my brother. That's why I had to beat your ass. Family, all this shit like that. He was like, plus, I ain't want Raphael, because if you go at Raphael again, I know he can whoop your ass anyway. So yeah. So that's when Bison looking at him like, nah, I hate this shit. Nah, I don't like this shit. Fuck this. I don't get what kind of truce they have back to Stockman. Send in the wolves. And that's when you got Ken and Donatello. Now, like I said, from what I know of this, Ken should win this fight easily, because Donatello sucks ass as far as fighting wise. That's just how it is.
Come on, man.
Out of the turtles, he's the weakest one. We all know this.
He's the nerd, man.
He's a nerd, so he's supposed to get his ass whooped. And Ken can beat ass when he needs to, but they go back and forth. And Michelangelo is like, okay, something isn't right there. So Michelangelo jumps down like, I'm gonna go talk to Street Fighters, and we're just gonna talk. We're not gonna fight. We're just gonna talk and see what's going on. So the first thing he does is talk to Chun-Li. He's like, hey, Chun-Li, you want to go get something to eat? She's like, no, I'm training later on. Plus, I want nothing to do with you. He was like, well, fine. Look, we need to just talk it out, find out what's going on. We didn't have anything to do with people getting shocked. We just need to team up and just whatever. They trying to have a good conversation. Meanwhile, Ken still whooping Donatello's ass. Donatello's headbutting him. Donatello's holding up a lot better than he should. And that's when the other turtle that I don't know, that one, yeah.
Oh, the girl
turtle, yeah.
Donatello, the girl turtle, Janica or something. She's like brand new, yeah.
Yeah, in the IDW comics. So she picks up Ryu and throws Ryu because she said, I didn't like the way Ryu looked at me or some shit. So throws him into the ring. And when she throws Ryu into Donatello, that basically interrupts their fight. And now it's just an all-out free-for-all. Now everybody's just fighting. Everybody's just going at it. And the fight spreads all throughout the casino that they're in right now. They're just fighting everywhere. Give me a new pair of turtles. So they're fighting in Vegas, all over the place, throwing everything apart. And that's when Bison just like, excellent. Send in the extraction team. So that's when he sends in his Shadow Loose soldiers. And for some reason, I would imagine that the Street Fighters would know who these people are, but they don't know who the Shadow Loose soldiers are. That should be a dead giveaway. Bison's behind this shit, but whatever. So they send him in and they're talking shit. Ken talking to Donatello like, are these the people with you? Like Donatello like, yeah, I got an army with us. What do you think? So they decided, okay, let's just call a truce. Let's all team up and let's fight these soldiers and let's kick their ass. And they all fight and beat their ass like that. But something happened. Well, honestly, they get their ass kicked. That's what happened because one of them throws a grenade, blows them up. And while doing the whole brawl, that's when they kidnap Raphael and Chun-Li. They get both of them because they really want to Raphael. They're like, well, if I can get Chun-Li, I'll take her too. Why not? So that's where I can release my Psycho Bomb. I don't really know what a Psycho Bomb is. I don't know. I'm not gonna guess some shit.
Is that something from Street Fighter? Psycho Power?
Psycho Power is from Street Fighter. Psycho Power is basically like the key and the chi, but that's
like when
Bison's way of
when your bar gets up.
Yeah, best way of manufacturing it. So he can mimic what they do, but he can sell it and do but it feeds off negative energy. So he needs everybody to be assholes and dicks to each other, because the more that they are, the more he can feed off that psycho power energy. And I think that's what the psycho thing is. It's going to just turn everybody in the world crazy, and the crazier the world gets, stronger he gets, which was the plot from Street Fighter 5, I think, but whatever. So
you know the lore.
I know the mythology of all this shit. Yeah. So anyway, when the smoke clears, they realize that Chun-Li and Raphael are missing. So okay, so in order to get them back, we need to team up. because we need to stop fighting each other, stop blaming each other, everything that's going on. And that's when Michelangelo's like, we need to work together. We need to rescue Chun-Li. And Donatello's like, and your brother, dumbass. You know, like, oh yeah, we need to rescue Chun-Li and Ralph. That's what I was about to say. You interrupted me, Donatello. I was gonna say that shit. But yeah, to be continued. So yeah. Oh, like I said, fun, dumb shit. It's just, you know,
that's
whatever.
What these are, these crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they had more. The Street Fighters had the powers. Dragon Punch.
Like they're throwing Hadouken. Yeah.
Yeah. Hadouken. Some shit like that. But they don't do any of that. Give them, let them have some fun. You know. I know the Turtles not using any of their weapons either. But whatever. They're just fighting.
Yeah.
So, look, just end it with them fighting psycho powered bison. Just give me that.
I'm waiting for like fucking what's his name? All the Street Fighter bad guys that show up. E Honda.
E Honda's a good guy. So they got the full boss. They got the full bosses. So they got M Bison, Balrog bad, Vega bad. Sagat is only bad when he wants to be.
Yeah, Sagat. Right. He was my guy.
But he's not really a bad guy. He only is a bad guy because he want to beat Ryu's ass.
No, Blanca's a good guy too.
Blanca's a good guy. So there's only 4 bad guys. That's it. Everybody else is technically kind of good, but they just beat the shit out of each other, you know. So
yeah.
And there's other people also, but we're never get all that. So that's all. I wish the story did dig into Street Fighter lore a little bit more, but we're not here for that. Just give us the main people and just move on. So yeah. So what do we got here?
Yeah. Thanks for listening, Donut. And
let's see. Jake's right here. Let's see.
Shit. Okay, I'll
talk about it. I was actually just about to wait. Before we do that, Eli, you got any books?
No, you took all my books.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm booked out. I read. Blade
I took up the majority of the show. That's okay. When Ahsoka hits, it's all you. I'm gonna just sit in the back and chill. So, no, I did not talk about Invincible, but I actually did put on the list. I just forgot to talk about it, so we're gonna talk about Invincible now. So, yes, Invincible season 2 is coming out. Oh, I completely screwed up. So, what up? Invincible 2 is season 2 has been announced. What the hell am I doing? What did I mess up?
Did you get an Invincible pick?
Yes, I did, but I'm trying to get Jake out of here. What did I? Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. I did get Invincible pick. But the point is that it's gonna drop season 2 on November 3rd. I think is what they said. Season 2 is gonna drop on November 3rd. But however, as of right now, they actually did drop something on Amazon. So there is a new Invincible cartoon on Amazon right now. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Yeah, and I actually watched it before. Let me see. It says Adam Eve, the Invincible Adam Eve. That's cartoon. It's about an hour long. Awesome shit. You watch this shit. It's on the level. It's basically whetting your appetite for what Invincible's about to do. Now, and I'm pretty sure this is like adapted from the Adam one shot that Invincible had, like a comic from a long time ago. Awesome. This story is awesome. Walk it. Definitely recommend it. You got nothing to do, watch it. As soon as you watch this, and when it ends, you'll be like, shit, Invincible hurry the fuck up. So, yeah, great cartoon. That's all. Oh, did you watch My Adventure with Superman this week, or are you still?
I didn't watch the new episode yet. I watched the episode 3. I haven't watched the new one. 4.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is that when you watch it, look for Lex Luthor. He shows up in it briefly. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. If you pay attention to it, you'll see him. But we'll talk. I'm gonna wait till you get caught up on it. So yeah.
No, I binge watched. What was I watching the other day? Oh, Ghosts of Mars, not Ghosts of Mars. Stars on Mars.
What is that?
It's a stupid reality show where a bunch of celebrities go to like a simulated Mars space station, like out in the desert, and it's a habitat, but like it's supposed to simulate like they're being on Mars. And then they just gotta like deal with shit that happens on Mars, like different missions and shit. But it's all celebrities. A few, and I only knew a few of them. So like the football players, like Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman, they're like football players. Ronda Rousey's on it. Who else? There was a bunch of celebrities I did not know. The one of the girls from Modern Family is on it, and then some hot chick from a Real Housewife show that I never, because I don't watch that shit.
Right.
But she's hot as fuck, and she's like always walking around in awesome outfits. Keeps me interested. But no, I binged watched like 5 episodes or whatever. I was like, nice. And and they're just going through stupid missions, like what they would deal with if they were in space, like on a space station on Mars, and and then the drama starts happening and all that bullshit. But I was bored. So.
Well, you saw what I just did a whole show of what I watched this week, so I'm not going to go into it. So yeah. Next week I think we're going to
watched that instead of Oppenheimer. Sorry.
Right. MILF Manor or some shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week we're going to have the season finale of Secret Invasion. So I'm still digging it. I know everybody else has fell off on this. They're like, "Where's the Avengers?" That's the whole point of the show. The point of the show is to not have Avengers. Let Nick Fury be Nick Fury. So yeah, so that's my thing. But I'll review it and I'll get my whole view of the whole thing and how it wraps up. So yeah, we got one more episode.
And I'll review Riverdale. No,
you know what? I was actually gonna say something about Riverdale, like how we take like cartoon kiddie shit and make it adult. Like I said with Batman, Riverdale was the same way.
Yeah.
Now everything's angsty and teen. Everybody got abs and shit like that. They have threesomes and shit. None of that shit happened in Archie comics.
And musicals, Carrie the musical, and Heather the musical, and
right. Oh, and Star Trek has a musical coming out, like episode.
Oh, really?
And Gomer thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
Oh,
but when Supergirl did it, it sucked.
Well, I was about to watch. Was it Strange New Worlds? Because it was like free
that's the
on
show.
YouTube?
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie. But I do know the original series fairly well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get lost when I watch like other shit. Like they got so many Star Trek shows, I get lost. So, but I kind of sort of know the original series, and I know Pike is on that show. So I thought about watching that because it was free on like YouTube.
Uhura is on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might have to watch that shit.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. But it's supposed to be like in a different timeline. And like Star Trek does the multiverse. They've been doing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just need Star Wars to catch up.
The holodeck and all that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the show. Like I said, watch this Geeks and Comics. Like I said, if you want to get into San Diego Comic-Con, it's there. Oh, and also, AKA David did review Oppenheimer on there. So like I said, his review is going to be completely different mine because all he did is talk about like the real shit Oppenheimer did, which I don't know what the fuck he did. So yeah. So yeah, but we'll come up with another show. We'll have some more stuff. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.